Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's Granny Sue, and so I thought I'd show you my recipe for apple pie for a crowd, and this will make 3 apple pies. And what you take is 2 cups of chilled lard, okay, and you take 6 cups of really excellent and a little bit, I guess maybe a half teaspoon. I just put a little bit in the hollow of my hand of salt. Okay, and this is what it will look like after you've worked it in. My mom used to say that the fat blobs should be no bigger than the size of a pea. But what we're going to do now is add cold water to the point where when you stir it, it kind of makes a ball inside the bowl. And the more water you add, the better the dough is going to stick together, but also the tougher the dough is, because you'll have to keep adding flour as you roll it out. So I think probably about a cup of cold water. Let's see how this does. I'm going to add in a cup of cold water. That should be plenty, I'm imagining. And I'm just going to use my hands and kind of incorporate this. Okay, here's what the dough looks like. It's heavy. It's like Play-Doh. That's the consistency you want. Okay, and then I've gone ahead and floured the board. Now I'm not going to use this much flour all at once. Remember, the more flour you add, the tougher the dough. So I'm going to spread this out more. To show you what you do, you pull out, I don't know, maybe a softball sized bit of dough. Right here, a softball size, something like that, baseball size. And so you kind of knead it a little bit in the flour until it's perfectly round. And then I'm going to roll this out with a rolling pin to less than a 1/4 inch thick, just as thin as you want to get it. Okay, here is that same ball of dough rolled out. And what I do is I just pick it up and fold it in half like that, and then move the pie plate close, and then pick up by the fold and try to get that centered in the pan, which I'm doing with one hand. Is not working too well, but anyway, get the idea. And then unfold it until the pan is lined with pastry. All right, here are the 3 pie shells. The next step here is I'm going to peel and core and slice the apples and put them into the pie shell. And I just keep going until I've got a pretty good heap in the pie shell. Okay. The pie shells are filled with apples. You see about how high. And now we're going to put the rest of the filling together. And what I do is I put 2 big spoons of brown sugar in a 1 cup measure. One, 2, and then I put a heaping spoonful of flour. Get that over here. Okay, a heaping spoonful of flour. What that's going to do is that's going to thicken some of the juices of the apple. Put that in there, and then I'm going to put like a 1/2 spoon of cinnamon and a pinch of mace. And this is my favorite spice of all time. You can see it's I use it a lot. It is cardamom. I'm going to put a pinch of cardamom in there. And then I'm going to mix that all up in here, and then fill the rest of the way to the top with white sugar. Okay? And then when I've gone all the way up to the top with white sugar, then I'm going to pour it over the apples, and then with my hands just toss it in the shell so it's all coated. Okay? Okay, after you've got the fruit tossed, you cover it with dots of butter. So then you roll out, after you've got it dotted with butter, you roll out the crust. You're going to need 3 of them. And how I do is I just roll, when I'm sealing it, I just use my hands and pinch it and roll up from the bottom crust over the top of the other one to make like a little rim. And then what you do is you have to cut a vent hole in here for the steam to escape. So you cut a vent hole, and then put it in the oven. Bake it at 350 degrees. It'll probably take maybe about another 45 minutes to an hour to bake. Bake at 350 or 325. Okay, that's all. Just want to show you. My cat's moving in, wants to take a bite, and I've got to keep swatting them off. God bless you all, and happy Thanksgiving.